The most successful minds in the world have one thing in common. They think a whole lot about how they think. Oftentimes, they turn to a framework to help them add order to their most important daily decisions and to add consistency to their lives. The first principles approach has been used by many great thinkers, including inventor Johannes Gutenberg, military strategist John Boyd, and the ancient philosopher Aristotle. But no one embodies the philosophy of first principles thinking more effectively than entrepreneur Elon Musk. In this video, we'll explore why they do and how you can too. Without further ado, let's get straight into the video. First principle thinking involves deconstructing the problem down to its core elements and building up from there. The term was first coined more than 2,000 years ago by the ancient Greek philosopher Aristotle, who believed that the best way to understand a subject is to break it down to its most fundamental principles. A first principle is just the basic assumption that cannot be reduced any further. No assumptions about it. It's reduced down to the core truth that you can say, "We know this is true," or at least, "We're reasonably sure that this is true." Using first principles thinking in your daily life can give you a new perspective on habits you've wanted to change or needed to change, or an activity you've been meaning to take on can be aided in this mode of thinking. As you break down the problem, it allows for a unique viewpoint you can develop forwards, rather than simply fall back into the old, lazy status quo that you've been stuck in for so long. Thinking by analogy in today's world will limit you in far too many ways. You will simply be going along with the herd, making decisions based on comparisons of yourself with what you've done or what others have done. Let's look at the Elon Musk example. Back in 2002, Elon Musk had a bold and ambitious goal in mind. He wanted to land a rocket on Mars. The problem he was thinking of, though, was, we need to get the human population off of a single planet and onto a second planet. Mars was his solution. He started researching it, and rockets cost an insane amount of money, upwards of $40, $50, even $65 million for single-use rockets that you shoot off, and they aren't usable again. And he was thinking, well, that's insane. What really can a rocket consist of? What are the parts? So, he used this physics framework to start from first principles, and he asked, if I break apart a rocket into individual components, what's really there? He wanted to know what really went into building a rocket. He broke it apart. Well, there's aerospace-grade aluminum alloys, there's some titanium, copper, carbon fiber. Then he asked, what's the value of these materials on the commodity market? And he found out that it turned out that the material cost of a rocket was only about 2% of the typical price. The markup was all in the manufacturing, the assembly of parts, the research, the R&D of it. As he broke down a rocket, it turns out it wasn't that expensive, and thus SpaceX was born out of first principles thinking. He said, we could do this better. If we can vertically align the whole manufacturing process, buy the materials ourselves, engineer it, and build it, we can cut down the price. So, after lots of prototyping and testing, they quickly cut the price down to about 10% of the existing price, and SpaceX has been dominating the market since. Let's talk about the three-step process for first principles problem solving. Number 1. Identify the problem you want to solve. In the case of Tesla, the key problem the company needed to solve were reducing the cost of the battery pack to make it affordable and increase the range a car could go on a single charge to reduce range anxiety. Number 2. Break down the problem into its fundamental principles and list major constraints to solving it. The main constraint to an affordable battery pack might have been the cost of one or more of the materials. So, then you would ask, how could we possibly reduce the cost of that key material? For Tesla, the challenge of creating a lower-cost battery pack had less to do with the materials and more to do with the process of combining them into a battery cell on enough scale to reduce the cost, hence the need for the Gigafactory, Tesla's facility to design and build lower-cost lithium batteries at scale. A major constraint to increasing the range of a Tesla from a single electric charge was the weight of the car body. Thus, Tesla became the first automaker to use a lightweight, all-aluminum body. Number 3. Create new solutions using a blank slate approach. Ask yourself, if I could create a solution I desired, what would that solution be? The point here is to imagine the perfect solution and then consider a wide variety of approaches that might eliminate the greatest bottleneck. During this phase, you need to engage 4 behaviors actively: questioning, observing, networking, and experimenting. Creative problem solvers excel at questioning, constantly challenging the status quo with why-not questions to turn things upside down. They also frequently ask what-if questions to envision a different future. They are also intense observers, carefully watching the world around them, especially customers, products, services, and processes. With a beginner's mindset, creative problem solvers also stand out at networking, talking with diverse people to spark a new way to solve perplexing problems. Finally, they search for new solutions by constantly experimenting. Thanks for watching. If you liked the video, please subscribe.